Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here today because, well, we're going on a pretty fascinating journey. We're looking at something that literally bridges the gap between microscopic chemistry and massive field yields. If you've been wondering how we can push past current agricultural limits while actually healing the earth at the same time, you're definitely in the right place.
You know, we're facing a massive problem in modern agriculture. We keep hitting these frustrating yield ceilings, and worse, our soils are degrading rapidly from years of intensive, repetitive farming. So what is the secret to unlocking plant growth and healing our soil simultaneously? Today, we're unpacking the hero of our story, Potassium Humate. Okay, let's dive into this. Today's roadmap covers agriculture's black gold fertilizer, unlocking plant photosynthetic potential, boosting crop yield significantly, repairing damaged soil ecology, and finally, scientific fertilizer application guidelines.
All right, Section 1, Agriculture's Black Gold Fertilizer.
Now, this really isn't your average fertilizer. Just looking at the specs, we've got a highly concentrated organic powerhouse here. Notice the organic matter content? It's at least 80%. It's also incredibly rich in humic acid, at least 55%, and fulvic acid sitting at 50% or more. Plus, it packs a minimum of 12% potassium oxide. But here's the kicker. Pay close attention to that pH level at the bottom, 9 to 10. It is highly alkaline, and let me tell you, that's going to be a crucial detail when we talk about soil healing a bit later on.
Beyond just the raw chemical makeup, its physical properties make it incredibly adaptable for modern farming. First off, it's completely water-soluble, meaning it dissolves perfectly. Whether you're getting it in black flakes, powder, or granules, it acts as a direct, immediate source of potassium for the crop. And because it dissolves so flawlessly, it's absolutely fantastic for drip irrigation systems and integrated water fertilizer setups. It seamlessly fits right into the equipment farmers are already using.
Moving on to Section 2, Unlocking Plant Photosynthetic Potential.
I like to think of this fertilizer as a premium fuel additive for a plant's biological engine. Take a look at this recent study on maize seedlings. The biological response here is just dramatic. When researchers applied an optimal 100 milligrams per liter treatment, the plant's engine kicked straight into overdrive. Transpiration, which is the rate water moves through the plant, was boosted by over 81%, and stomatal conductance, or how wide the leaf pores open up to grab CO2, that shut up by more than 93%. It literally helps the plant breathe and process nutrients way faster.
But here's where it gets really interesting. It's a classic Goldilocks zone paradox. We're looking at the net photosynthetic rate here. The control group is our baseline at 0. When we apply that 100 milligram per liter treatment, the H100, photosynthesis jumps by a massive 37.74%. But look what happens when we blast it with 500 milligrams per liter, the H500. The rate actually drops by 10.51% below the baseline. No way, right? It just goes to prove a critical biological rule. More is not always better. Too much actually inhibits the plant's ability to photosynthesize.
Which brings us to Section 3, Boosting Crop Yield Significantly.
24.79%. I mean, that is a staggering number in the world of agriculture. When those optimal treatments of humic acid are applied correctly to corn, researchers documented a total yield increase of nearly 25%. Just imagine increasing your total harvest by a quarter, all from optimizing the chemical communication right down at the leaf level.
So the crucial point here is that this yield bump isn't just magic, right? It's the sum of systemic physical improvements. Just look at the metrics from the study. Plant height increased by over 5 centimeters. The stems got thicker, which makes them more resilient. The corn ears grew nearly a centimeter longer, packing in over 57 additional grains per ear. Even the weight of the grains increased. And my personal favorite stat, the bald top rate, those annoying empty spots at the top of the cob, that actually decreased by over 3%. Basically, every single physical trait of the corn improves when you hit that perfect concentration.
Let's zoom out a bit for Section 4, Repairing Damaged Soil Ecology.
Now, to understand the cure, we really have to understand the disease. Have you heard of the continuous cropping obstacle? It's a severe crisis in modern farming. Basically, when you repeatedly plant the exact same crop in the same soil, the roots secrete chemicals that eventually turn the soil acidic. This completely throws the microbial ecosystem out of balance and invites devastating plant viruses. It's incredibly severe in the medicinal plant industry, affecting over 70% of tuberous medicinal plants. The soil effectively becomes sick, and this is a massive issue globally, especially in tropical regions. In fact, experts strongly emphasize that humic acid organic fertilizer is highly suitable for Southeast Asian soils, or Fushia Swan yo ji filio shio du yu donanyao tarong, because over there, heavy rainfall and intensive farming cause this really severe, rapid soil acidification.
And this brilliantly illustrates why potassium humate is such a game changer. Remember that spec sheet from the beginning? We pointed out the high pH level of 9 to 10. Because potassium humate is highly alkaline, it acts as a direct counterpunch to the acidic soil crisis caused by continuous dropping. It works as a neutralizing agent, bringing the soil pH right back into balance. And once that acidity is neutralized, the delicate microbiome around the roots, the rhizosphere, can actually restore itself, bringing that sick soil back to life.
All right, let's get practical. Section 5, Scientific Fertilizer Application Guidelines.
Let's see how this builds out a complete growing cycle. We're using the Liaoning provincial standards for facility-grown tomatoes as our blueprint here. Step 1 is your base dressing before planting. You apply 60 to 100 kilograms of humic acid organic fertilizer and 30 to 50 kilograms of compound fertilizer, deep turning it 20 to 30 centimeters down into the dirt. Then step 2 is the seedling stage. Apply 4 to 8 kilos of the water-soluble version at 7 days and again around 17 to 22 days post-planting. Finally, step 3 is the fruit expansion stage, where you alternate between humic acid and a heavy NPK fertilizer.
This side-by-side comparison perfectly highlights why this structured approach works so well. Your nutrient strategy absolutely has to scale dynamically. In the early growth phase, your focus is entirely on establishing strong roots and maximizing that photosynthetic engine we were just talking about. That's exactly why you lean heavily on the humic and fulvic water-soluble fertilizers early on. But as soon as the plant shifts to fruit expansion, its needs change entirely. You have to shift your focus to heavy NPK fertilizers, specifically an 18-7-30 blend, to support the massive physical energy required to produce the actual crop yield.
So we've traveled from microscopic stomata on a single corn leaf, all the way out to massive, field-wide yield improvements and total soil rehabilitation. I want to leave you with this final thought. The future of farming relies on working with the soil's chemistry, not just extracting from it. After seeing how potassium humate acts as both an engine booster for the plant and a healer for the earth, how will you rethink your own approach to unlocking plant potential? Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.